Come see that magical place where HDF and near future terrain combine.
Spiking bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Baer, and today we're taking a look at some of my favorite retailers out there when it comes to both bases and scenery products, Micro Art Studios out of Europe. They recently contacted me and they're like, hey, would you like to help promote us? And I said, absolutely. I've been using your stuff for 10 years. I know everything about it. Great pick. Let's talk. So we got down to it and they sent over some HDF terrain, which I never worked with their particular line because at the time, 10 years ago, when I was in college and such, it was a little pricey and, I was unable to pick it up. However, fast forward to now, we're able to get a hold of it and show it off to you guys. And now again, the prices haven't really gone up, but it seems like everything else in the hobby world has gone up to kind of match it. So now I'm looking at these prices and I'm like, didn't I buy this in the past? Just kind of chuckling to myself. But what we did buy was a lot of their resin bases, which we showed you recently how to paint up some of those chaos bases from Micro Art Studio, because we actually used all those on our demons from 10, 12 years ago, I forget. So great bunch of folks over there at Micro Art Studios. Been doing this for a long time. Today we're going to take a look at some of their HDF terrain for Infinity the game. And if I recall correctly, they are some of the very first people out there to actually make terrain officially licensed for the Infinity game from back in the late 2000s. So here's their website, microartstudio.com. Newer site. They just got it revamped here in the past year or so. I remember checking them out last summer, trying to buy some of those demon bases. This is new, so I like it. I like their new site. You can get to things from these windows in here, or you can also get to them from the tabs over here. We're gonna do here. We're going to the HDF section today. That's the high density type stuff, not quite the MDF side of things right there. That they have a lot of offerings. Like I said, officially licensed by the Infinity game. They've been making stuff for Infinity for the last 10 years or so that I can remember. So lots of offerings in here that all look great. Now they are priced in euros, so we'll have to approximate out the cost. Today we're going to take a look at the Cisterns and also the District 5 dumpster. So the Cisterns are pretty cool looking, neat little product where it's got like a foam tank on the inside here. This is a lot of stencil work, but everything else is just straight paint. So I think it's a very bold, a very cool offering from them. And of course, something that you would see, nowadays going down the interstate on the back of a flatbed truck, of course. So this set comes with 4 cisterns, a combination of hard foam and HDF laser cut parts. That's the hard foam is going to be the tank in the center there, probably. And you just have to cut them out, pop them together, throw some paint on them. I would imagine it would be a good idea to make it so that they can go back inside of here while you paint it. I'm not sure if that's the way it can go, add to cart, but we will definitely try that for sure. And then we've got the District 5 dumpsters here. Looks like a set of 4 for €14.76. I guess that's about $20. Enough HDF components to make 4 dumpsters that you can leave the lids open or closed, it looks like. That's kind of cool. Of course, officially licensed for the Infinity game there. Just reading the warnings there. So I don't really see any gotchas here as far as these go. So we're going to add to cart and see what we got when they come in. So here they are. So this is the Cistern set. It's a very robust, very large kit. So I can see it's probably a little heavy to ship. No big deal there, but you got the foam on the back like we said it was going to be. I imagine these flat areas here are going to be flush against one of the bracket systems there. But in 4 sets of 2 different sprues, so to speak, of HDF, and for 4 crates themselves. And next up is the dumpsters, which is a lot easier to ship, I'm sure, to what seems like 1 and 1 identical, or set of 2 little HDF sheets here. So in theory, this looks pretty easy. I don't see any instructions though. I'm hoping, oh, there's probably some on the back right there. So we'll open these up and dive right in and see how easy it is to put these bad boys together. So first up was the Cistern kit, which was an absolute blast for us. We really jammed out on this one, putting them together here in the studio. This is the instructions for them, believe it or not, and they seem simple enough and very straightforward. And then there's these little gantry kind of ladder kind of thing here, and I guess that's if you happen to double stack two of these on top of each other. They got the long ladder, short ladder if you just stack one, and we'll play around with that here in a minute. Overall, they come, like I said, probably into, I think I said it at some point. So you got two identical kind of sprues there that forms one, and it's got the pieces on the inside here for the short ladder and the outside for the long ladder, and these are the pegs that kind of go together. So very straightforward build, and then you got the HDF little, or the hard foam little sections right here. Now this you probably want to coat in a little bit of white glue before you prime it, just so, or give it a coat with the airbrush. But if you use the aerosol in here, you do run the risk of it eating through this, and I'd hate to see that happen to terrain you had just bought. Now we jammed out and put this together, and it looks great, don't get me wrong, this is awesome. Oh, it's very easy to do, and the little ladders go on the side right here. You just kind of glue them in if you want. There might be some spots for them to lock in, like over here. They kind of slot in like perfectly, but I'm not sure where exactly they're supposed to go because I couldn't find any pictures. They slot in right here around the little ramp, and then of course if you go with the large build right there, the double stack, you got that too. So it's very neat. Size wise, you know, I don't have any Infinity miniatures. I don't know why I haven't gotten an Infinity. It's such a cool game, very easy to play. But right there, you kind of got an idea. There's some Primaris and just normal Marine Man, so you know that everybody else probably the approximate size of these as far as that goes. So I think it's definitely well sized for pretty much any game you're playing out there, 28mm heroic or normal, whichever. But one thing I would like to point out is that, and I forget exactly where we did it, the way it's put together, you got to be careful because you might not want to paint it quite yet, but you might want to come back and paint it. So if that's the case, you're going to have a hard time because these inside brackets right here are actually going to hold it, and you're not going to be able to kind of pull it out the top because it actually kind of fits, kind of slides right in there. And you actually can't kind of pull it out the side, even if this bracket wasn't here that I had to pull off. Even if that wasn't there, it wouldn't just like fall out. Sides just kind of catch it. It's very, very weird how it goes together. I like it, but I just didn't expect that. So just naturally me, I was like, oh, I'll just put the sides on it and then I can just pop it out. And while it was already starting to, you know, glue down and everything, I was like, oh no, I can't get it out. So stupid's me's, we did not dry fit it. So anyways, I was able to kind of pull this apart a little bit enough to get it out. But I'm sure that there's a build that you can do to allow you to see how it expands to actually fit in. There may be some sort of build where you could just leave two of these off like this to just snap on. And it's all very tight tolerances, so you don't have to worry about that. You could, in theory, just leave one of these off, come back, and attach it again. Remember, the laser cut sides go out, so it gives you more things to paint, more detail work to kind of work with, paint down when you are ready. But overall, I think it's a really neat kit. 4 of these will look great on the tabletop. Get some decals right there. You put on the Cistern themselves. And last, but certainly not least, are the dumpsters, which I think are a pretty cool addition to the line, because who doesn't have, even in the near future, there are dumpsters, right? So here's the instructions on the back. Ooh, it's kind of shiny right there as far as light goes. Let's turn that down a little bit just so I can show you. So the one thing I wanted to clue you all into is these little brackets right here for the dumpster doors themselves. These are actually very specific on where they need to go. These need to go in the middle, and these need to go on the outside. And if you don't, the lids themselves aren't going to close correctly. We ran into that problem, just kind of eyeballing it and going back and just kind of being like, oh, I got this. And then, well, we didn't have that because it was too far out. But once you get them glued in correctly into that spot right there and these onto the outside, they will close if you don't glue the doors to the hinges right there. And they really make, just in a few short steps, really make this cool little dumpster that, again, is sized appropriate for a lot of, you know, 28mm heroic and type stuff out there. And you can throw a bunch of these just kind of scattered on the tabletop and, you know, next to the cistern and next to any of that terrain out there, and it would really look good, especially if you already have existing MDF near future buildings. These are some really cool accessories to kind of go with them, so to speak. And then you can put, you know, the little dumpster kind of things here. Very cool terrain from Micro Art Studios. The dumpsters are very cute, very easy to put together, and definitely lend a lot to your particular tabletop out there as well. Now, you saw from the page, there's a whole ton of HDF terrain they have over there. Again, don't let the terrain outsmart you. It is designed one specific way, and they tell you how to do it in the instructions. So don't be as stupid like we were and put it together wrong twice and then be like, uh-oh, what do we do? But that is perfect, right? I could fill volumes on stupid hobby things we've done in the past, but overall, like I said, designed well, just not accounted for by our stupid hobbyist brains. So check out Micro Art Studios for even more awesome HDF and foam terrain too. There's a whole section we didn't even show you on that website. Now, if you like these type of features here on the channel, make sure you work out those hobby muscles, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell icon so you can get notifications on every feature we
deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.